right, so today we are going to be talking about finding unknown angle measures. So this takes some concepts from geometry and solving equations and puts it together to find our unknown angle measures. So first, we're going to discuss some new types of angle relationships, how they relate to each other. So the first we have are two angles are adjacent angles when they share a common side and have the same vertex. So basically this means that they are next to each other. Okay, so if we were to look at a picture, just a quick sketch here, we would say, let's see, this angle here is going to be right next to this angle here. So they are right next to each other, they share the same vertex here, and they share the common side here. Alright, if we were looking for complementary angles, those are two angles that their sum is going to be 90 degrees. So that means they add to be 90 degrees. So basically, they make a right angle together. That's another way we could see it. So just like before, we got this angle and this angle here. Together, they're going to add to make this right angle here. And we can tell it's a right angle because we got that square there. We also have this thing called supplementary angles. So two angles are supplementary angles when they have the same, when their sum of the measures, when they add to be 180 degrees. So basically they make a line together. So they're going to be adding to 180 degrees, and they're going to make a line together. So we got an angle here, and we got an angle here. So together, if we add these two angles together, their sum is going to be 180 degrees. Vertical angles. So two angles are vertical angles when they are opposite angles formed by the intersection of two lines. So vertical angles, they have the same measure because they are both supplementary to the same angle. So basically, if we have two lines that are intersecting, they're going to form some angles. So this angle and right across from it, this angle, we see they are vertical angles. They have the same measure. So they are going to be right across from each other. Okay, so that's how I remember it. You can just reach right across. So it has to be lines that intersect, okay, and they have to be right across from each other. Alright, let's look at some angles. Okay, so we're looking at this diagram. There's a bunch of things going on. So there's multiple right answers for most of these. So let's see. For the first one, it says, name a pair of adjacent angles. So let's say I had angle ABC. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that just so we can see what I'm talking about here. So I got angle ABC. Alright. And then I want to find an adjacent angle to it. So it has to be right next to it. It has to share the side and it has to share a vertex. So I'm going to say this angle here. So the way we name it, we're going to start on the outside, go inside to the outside. So this is going to be angle DBC. Again, you could have worked with the other angle up here, FBA or ABF. Okay, but I'm just going to say DBC. So I got angle. Alright, the next one is complementary angles. So these are the ones that add to be 90 degrees. So let's see, I got angle EBD, okay, and we have to find our other angle. Okay, so let's highlight angle EBD. So we got EBD, and I need to find the other angle that adds to make 90 degrees, or together they make a right angle. So the other angle would have to be this angle here, DBC or CBD. Okay, so we're going to say angle DBC. All right, the next one is supplementary angles. So supplementary angles, this means that they add to be 180 degrees, or together they're going to make a straight line. So let's see. Say we had angle ABC again. And we're looking for another angle that together is going to make a straight line. So I'm going to highlight angle ABC. Okay, so I got angle ABC here, and I'm looking for another angle that's going to make a straight line with it. So I'm looking, and there's two answers I could say, but I'm going to say this angle up here. So I got angle FBA. So angle FBA or ABF would work as well. All right. And then we are looking for vertical angles. So I need to see two lines that are intersecting. So let's see. Say I had angle FBA. All right. And I'm trying to find an angle it is vertical angles with. So let's see. I'm going to highlight my angle here. So I got angle FBA. And it's going to be vertical angles with, we got DBC. We see that ABD, this line here, intersects the line FBC. So that means that the angles across from each other are going to be vertical angles. Okay, so we got angle DBC. All right, I'm going to keep going here. All right, let's see. We got a pair of adjacent angles. So say I had angle QJK. And let's say I had an angle. For complementary angles, let's say I had angle PJN. For supplementary angles, let's say I had angle QJK again. And for our vertical angles, let's say I had angle LJM. Alright, so pause the video, see if you can come up with the same answers I do. Again, some of them have multiple answers, but as long as you have the same reasoning, you're on the right track. So pause the video. I want you to try this on your own. See if you can find the same angles as me. So pause the video here. Alright, so you should have paused the video and worked through it on your own. So for the first set, we had to find adjacent angles. So I gave you angle QJK. So you could have said angle PJQ or angle QJL could have been adjacent angles with that. For the next one, we had complementary angles, so that means they add to be 90 degrees, or they make a right angle together. So if we had angle PJN, then you should have said, oh, angle NJM would make a right angle with that. So they would be complementary angles. For the next one, we have supplementary angles. So that means they add to be 180 degrees, or they make a straight line together. So if we had angle QJK, we could have said angle KJM, or we could have also said angle QJN. And for our last one, we were looking for vertical angles. So for our vertical angles, let's say we had angle LJM, looking right across, seeing where the lines intersect, looking right across, it would be angle PJQ. All right, we're going to keep going. All right, so for this one, we are going to first classify the angles and then use what we know to solve for x. So let's see, we're looking at how these two angles are related. So they're right across from each other and they're lines that intersect. So these are going to be vertical angles. All right, and what do we know about vertical angles? They are equal to each other. So x has to be 70. All right, for this next one, we are looking at these angles. There's two things I notice about these angles. So first, they're right next to each other, so they are adjacent angles. Okay, so they're right next to each other, but that doesn't tell me too much in terms of solving. Another thing I notice is this red square down here. So that means together they make a right angle. So these are complementary angles. They add to be 90 degrees. Okay, so we have 31 degrees plus x plus 4 degrees. All together, they're going to add to be 90 degrees. All right, so I can solve for x here. So I have 31 plus 4, that's going to be 35. So on my left, I have x plus 35, and then equals 90. I need to solve for x still, so I have to undo that plus 35. I have to subtract 35 on both sides. So that tells me x is going to be 55. All right, we're going to keep going to page 30 here. All right, so there's two things I noticed about these angles, okay? So these angles, they are next to each other, so they are adjacent. But again, that doesn't tell me too much in terms of solving. Another thing I notice about these angles is they make that straight line here. So I would say that these angles are, since they make a straight line together or they add to be 180 degrees, these are also supplementary angles. Okay, so we're going to use this fact that they're supplementary angles to come up with an equation. So if they're supplementary angles, that means together they're going to add to be 180 degrees. So we got x plus x minus 4 is going to be equal to 180. Sorry, that was a terrible equal sign. All right, so now we're going to add them together. We're going to combine our x's. So we got 2x minus 4 equals 180 degrees. I need to take care of that minus 4 first. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I got 2x equals 184. I still need to get x by itself, so I have to undo that times 2. I need to divide by 2 on both sides. So that tells me x is going to be 92. Alright, so I want you guys at this point, you're going to pause the video and I want you guys to try 2, 3, 4 here. So pause the video, I want you to first classify the pair of angles and then I want you to find the value of x, just like what we've been doing. So I want you guys to try 2, 3, and 4. So pause the video at this point and then come back and check it. Alright, so you should have paused the video and tried 2, 3, and 4 here. So for number 2, these are adjacent angles and they are supplementary angles. So when we solve for x, we would get, it would be 95. For number 3, these are vertical angles. Okay, they're right across from each other and they have lines that intersect. And x would be 90. For number 4, these are adjacent angles and they are complementary angles. So we're going to set up our equation, and once we solve, it's going to be a two-step equation here. It's going to be x is going to be 31. All right, we're going to keep going. So we got example 3 here. So it says find the measure of angle EAD. So let's see. We're looking for angle EAD. So I'm going to highlight angle EAD just so I can remember, hey, that's my goal here. So let's highlight this. So angle EAD. So this is the angle I'm looking for, all right? So let's see. What do I know about angle EAD? I can see that there's a few things going on. I probably have to solve for x at some point. All right, so I need to solve for x. Let's see. I see that it has a red square here. So angle EAD and angle DAC together, they make 90 degrees. So they are supplementary, or I'm sorry, complementary. Whew, that was close. Are complementary. All right. Let's see. How could I solve for x? So I know that angle DAC. And let's see, my other angle that has any values would be angle CAB. Let's see, they are related because they make a line together. DAB, they make that line together. So these are supplementary. All right, so I'm going to start here and then move on to here. So I have 4x plus my 8x plus 12. So using this idea that these two angles here are supplementary. So they're going to add to be 180 degrees. I'm going to have to combine my like terms, so get my x's together. So I have 12x plus 12 equals 180. So 12x is going to equal 168. So that means x is going to be, once I do 168 divided by 12, I should get 14. So I found my x value. That's helpful. But that's not what it's asking. It's asking what the angle measure for EAD is. So let's use this knowledge and find out the measure of DAC. So I'm going to do 4 times my x value. So 4 times 14, that's going to tell me that angle DAC is going to be 56 degrees. So now I'm going to use that first fact I have listed here. So angle EAD and angle DAC, so 56 degrees, together they're going to be complementary. So they're going to add to be 90 degrees. So that tells me that angle EAD has to be, let's see, it has to be 34 degrees. All right, so let's see. For this next one, we want to find angle NJM. So I'm going to highlight angle NJM. So NJM. So I want to find 12x degrees. So I probably have to figure out what x is. Let's see. So I have to figure out a game plan here. So let's see. I know that angle NJM, and I know that angle, let's see, I see that red square here, that means 90 degrees. So angle PJN, I know that they are going to be making a 90 degree angle, so they are complementary. Let's see. What do I know about angle PJN? So angle PJN, I don't really know too much about it right now, but I do notice that it is a vertical angle with angle KJL. So they are vertical angles. So I'm going to start here. All right, so let's see, angle PJN and angle KJL are vertical angles. So if they are vertical angles, that means that they have to have the same angle measure. So if angle KJL is 6x degrees, that means angle PJN also has to be 6x degrees. All right, now I can use that to do my first fact here. So angle NJM and angle PJN are complementary. So together they're going to make 90 degrees. So angle NJM, that is 12x, plus angle PJN, so 6x, they are complementary. They add to be 90 degrees. So I need to solve for x here. I need to combine my like terms. So 12x and 6x, that's going to give me 18x equals 90. So that tells me x is going to have to be 5. I'm not done yet. It didn't ask me what x is. it asks me what angle NJM is. So now I just need to plug that in. So I need to take that information and plug it in. So angle NJM is going to be 12x degrees. And I'm going to take that information, I'm going to do 12 times my x value, 5. So angle NJM is going to be 12 times 5, that should be 60 degrees. Alright, we're going to keep going. Alright, we have the same diagram. So I'm going to take what I just found out, I'm going to plug it into this next diagram, okay? We're building off of it. So we just found that angle NJM is 60 degrees. So I'm going to label that. So this is 60 degrees. I also found that angle PJN was 6x degrees. Alright. And then we also found, I'm just going to make a note, x is going to be 5. Just in case we need to come across that again. Alright, so for this next one, I'm looking for angle KJP. So I'm going to highlight that just to keep it in mind. So KJP, I'm looking for this angle here. So let's see. What do I know? What do I see here? So I see that angle KJP, and I see that angle PJN. I see that they are supplementary angles. So together they make the line KJN. Okay, so that means together they're going to add to be 180 degrees. And let's see, if I know x is 5, then 6 times x degrees, so my angle PJN, so 6 times x degrees, so 6 times 5, so PJN has to be 30 degrees. So let's see, I'm going to now take that and I'm going to use the fact that I just wrote down. So angle KJP plus my angle PJN I just found was 30 degrees. Together they're going to make a line, they're going to make 180 degrees. So that tells me that angle KJP has to be 150 degrees. Alright, so again, we have the same diagram. So I'm going to take that information and that I had previously computed and I'm going to plug it in here. So I know that x is 5. I just found that this is 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees. We just found this is 150 degrees. We found that this is 60 degrees. Alright, I'm looking for angle KJM. So I'm going to highlight that so I can remind myself what that is. So I'm looking for angle KJM. Alright, so what do I see? What do I see about angle KJM? So I see that, let's see, I see that angle KJL, and I see that angle LJM make angle KJM. So that tells me that if I know both of those angles, I can add them together to get that whole angle there. But that also means I have to find angle LJM. Let's see. I see that angle LJM, and let's see, what else can I find out? I see that there's another right angle here, PJM. Together they make 180 degrees, right? So they make the line PJL. So angle LJM, and this angle here, PJM, are supplementary angles. So let's see, angle LJM plus angle PJM, which is 90 degrees. We can see that with that red square there. Together, they're going to add to be 180 degrees. So that means angle LJM is going to be 90 degrees. So I used this fact to get started. All right, now I'm going to plug that into the first fact I had written. So angle KJL, so that's 30 degrees, plus angle LJM I just found was 90 degrees. Together, they're going to make angle KJM, so they're going to make 120 degrees. So angle KJM is going to be 120 degrees. All right, last one. I know these were longer notes. Last one. All right, so a city worker designs an intersection of 3 roads that will be constructed next year. Oh boy, what an intersection. So the measure of the angle between any 2 roads must be at least 60 degrees in order for the vehicles to turn safely. So we want to see if this design meets the requirement. So let's see. I'm not really seeing any helpful adjacent angles. I'm not really seeing anything right away. But what I do notice is that angle BAC and angle FAE, I see that these are vertical angles. That's an angles. That's definitely an A, right? Okay. So that means that FAE is going to be 9x degrees. All right. Then I also see that angle GAF and angle FAE and angle EAD, all 3 of them are going to make line GAD. Okay, so I'm talking about line GAD here. All right, and we're talking about angle GAF. So GAF here. And angle FAE here. And angle EAD here. So all together, they made that line. So that means that together, all of those are going to add up to be 180 degrees. So we have angle GAF, so 60 degrees, plus angle FAE, which is 9x degrees, plus angle EAD, which is 6x plus 15 degrees. Altogether, all 3 of those angles, they make up line GAD, so that together those angles make 180 degrees. All right, so I need to solve for x here. So I can start plugging it in and making sure things work. So angle GAF, we're good here. Right across from it, angle CAD. This is also good because that's 60 degrees as well. So I need to verify these other 2 sets of vertical angles here. So let's see. We're going to combine our like terms. So we're going to get our x's together. So I have 9x and 6x together. They make 15x. Plus, let's see, we got 60 plus 15. That should be 75. Together, they're going to make 180. All right, I need to get x by itself here, so I have to undo that plus 75. I'm going to subtract 75 on both sides. So 15x is going to be equal to 105. I still need to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 15 on both sides. So that tells me that x is going to be 7. All right, we're not done yet. We just got to plug it in, make sure it works out. So let's look at angle FAE. So angle FAE, we said was 9x degrees. So we're going to plug it in. So 9 times 7, so it's going to be 63 degrees. This works. So angle FAE works. Angle BAC works. Now we just need to verify the last set. So we have angle EAD was equal to 6x plus 15 degrees. Let's see, 6 times 7, I'm going to get 42. 42 plus 15, that should be, that's going to be 57 degrees. Oh no, so this is not going to work. So does the design meet the requirement? No, it's not going to work because two of your angles are going to be less than 60 degrees. So no, two angles are less than 60 degrees. So no, this is not going to work. Close, but not quite. And that is the end of our notes. Woo woo. Good job. Thanks for sticking in there.